Inferno, Canto 32. The ninth circle is divided into 4 rounds, of which 2, viz. Caina and Anora, are here mentioned. In a lake of ice formed by the stagnant waters of Cocytus are fixed the sinners, consisting first of traitors to their own families, and secondly, traitors to their country.
Had I a rhyme so rugged, rough, and hoarse as would become the sorrowful abyss, o'er which the rocky circles wind their course, then with a more appropriate form I might endow my vast conceptions. Wanting this, not without fear I bring myself to write. For no light enterprise it is, I deem, to tell the very lowest depth of all. Nor should a childish tongue attempt the theme, but may the heavenly nine their aid afford, by whom Amphion reared Thebes' lofty wall, so that my words may with the fact accord. Ill-fated dwellers in this sink forlorn, surpassing all in misery and woe, far better had ye sheep or goats been born. Down in the gulf of darkness, black as night, we stood far sunk, the giant's feet below. Upon the lofty wall still fixed my sight, when came a voice, "Beware how you proceed, and measure well your steps, lest as you pass, on our unhappy brethren's head you tread." Wherefore I turned me round, and saw before and underneath my feet a lake like glass. For not of ice the semblance that it bore, not Austrian Danube, in the winter driven by bitter winds so thick a crust might wear, nor Tanais chilled beneath the inclement heaven, for Tabernici falling from his height, or Pietrapana hurled in ruin there, had not e'en cracked the margins with their weight. As stands a frog, his mouth above the stream, croaking in autumn when the village maid her labor o'er, doth oft of gleaning dream, so wedged in ice the wretched souls complain, a livid hue their haggard looks betrayed, like storks their teeth sent from a chattering strain. Downcast their looks, how pinching was the cold, their mouths bore ample proof, and from each eye might the dire anguish of their hearts be told. When I had somewhat tell who ye are, where at the neck they bent, and when to me their looks were upward cast, their eyes erst moistened with the liquid tear, overflowed the lids, then did the frost cement. The falling drops as so detained them there, ne'er plank to plank could iron cramp unite, so closely, like 2 mountain goats they plied, and smote each other from access of spite. And one who from intensity of cold had lost both ears, his face still stooping cried, "Say, wherefore us so earnestly behold? Who are these 2, wouldst thou discover, know? Their father Albert owned that valley sweet, through which Bizenzio's murmuring waters flow. One mother bore them both, they mayest explore Caina through, nor with the spirit meet, who fixed in icy bonds deserves them more. Not he, whose breast together with his shade was at one blow transfixed by author's might, nor yet Phocatia, nor e'en he, whose head casts such a shadow that I cannot see, and Cecil Mascheroni, as he hight. If thou art Tuscan, he is known to thee, and that thou mayest not urge me more to say. Know that Camisian Pazzi is my name, and Carlin I expect to wipe my guilt away. I saw 1,000 faces blue with cold, whence comes a deadly shiver o'er my frame, whene'er such icy shallows I behold. Whilst numbed and trembling I my footsteps bend, advancing to the centre, where compressed all heavy bodies naturally tend. Whether impelled by fate, desire, or luck, I know not, but as mid their heads I passed, the face of one my foot severely struck. Weeping he cried, "Wherefore thus crush my head? Unless you mean the vengeance to improve of Monteperti, why so fiercely tread?" Then I, "O master, let me here remain, that by his means my doubts I may remove. No longer then will I thy steps detain." The poet stopped, whereat to him I cried, who still was cursing loudly, "What, I pray, art thou that others dost so fiercely chide?" "Who then art thou," retorted he again, "through Antenora, causing such dismay? Wert thou alive, I would not this sustain. Alive I am, And if thou wish for fame, I answered, it perhaps may give thee joy, mid other words to insert thy name. I desire, so prince nor cause me more annoy. I'll knowest thou the art of flattery. Then did I seize him by the scalp, and said, now will I force thee to declare thy name, or not a hair I'll leave upon thy head. And he to me, then strip me of my hair. I ne'er will tell or show thee who I am, although 1,000 times my scalp they'll tear. Already in my hand his locks were bound, and more than one of them were gathered, he barking awhile, his eyes upon the ground, when cried another, Bocca, art thou sane? Sound not thy chattering teeth sufficiently, but thou must bark. What devil gives thee pain? Traitor accursed, be silent, I exclaim, for know that back to earth of thee I'll bear a true account to thy eternal shame. Begone, he cried, and tell what tales you please, but hence if you escape his name declare, whose tongue but lately ran with so much ease. Here he bewails the bribe of Frenchmen's gold, him of Duera mayest thou say I viewed, where sinners stand enshrined in icy cold. What others sojourn there, if asked to tell, him of Baccaria at thy side include, on whom the avenging steel of Florence fell. Gianni Soldanier, I believe, beyond, with Ganelon and Tabadello, who betrayed Fanze, sunk in sleep profound. Him had we left, when in a single hole I witnessed two, together frozen so, the head of one appeared, the other's cowl. And like a famished man devouring bread, thus where the brain doth where the spine unite, the upper one upon the underfed. Not otherwise fierce Titius in disdain gnawed Menelaus' scalp, then through despite, this drove his teeth into the skull and brain. O thou, I said, who makest known thy hate by such foul sign of bestiality, the reason why on this condition state, that if with justice thou such malice bear, learning thy name and his offences, I to earth returned may still thy wrongs declare, unless the tongue with which I speak be dry.